What's going on, everybody? Week 10, Sunday. We got the Colts playing right now overseas. Pretty good game so far. Definitely cannot complain with what is going on. Fun game so far. But let's get to it. Give me a second to get the promos out as always, and we're going to go through every single game on the board. Find your best bets. I actually had a lot of stuff that I bet pre-stream. It was a good Thursday night stream, by the way. We ended with some cooking, so that's very, very nice. And you guys know the drill. Let me get the promo out for the boys, and we're going through every single game, finding best bets, getting after it, getting after it, getting after it. All right, let's get the promos out. Using Pick the Odds as always for our Sunday stream. Again, I have a bunch of stuff that I played, so we're going to check in on that, but like not really dying on the hills of things that have lost value. We want to make sure we're finding things that still have value. And all right, promos are out. Let's do it. So let's check in on what's going on in Indianapolis. I think we have a live boost. I'm going to check the boost that we have one more time. Really wasn't a great boost day. I saw we have a DraftKings touchdown boost, which will be fun to use, where we can have a little TD parlay. That's always fun. And DK, that's really it, right? We have the 3-leg NFL touchdown parlay, 30% boost. And we have a 10% boost on a 3+ leg parlay. So again, nothing too amazing from DK front and FanDuel. I think we don't only have one profit boost, an SGP boost. Let's see what we got. Yeah, just a 25% parlay boost over here in NY for me. So annoying, not a ton of boost to use, but really no big deal. Let me actually check Caesars also, because they always have that touchdown boost, I think. Again, we're going to be finding EV straight legs as always, but if we're going to bet some parlays for fun on a Sunday, because who doesn't want to bet some parlays for fun on a Sunday? Of course, we're going to be using boosts to get there here. So let's see. Let me log into Caesars here, and we'll get into it. I think we do have a live boost as well on DK for next drive touchdowns. The Falcons just scored. It looks like it's something that I feel like is so underrated to Pick the Odds. The let's see. NFL. This is something that's so underrated to Pick the Odds, is like they have box scores updating in real time on the app. So there's really no need to ever leave Pick the Odds if you're live betting and trying to find value. You have the play-by-play right here. So we see who scored. Pickle Pen is deep right to Drake London, 16-yard touchdown. Drake London is on one, not just today, of course, putting together a great game. And as you see, you have the box score here. So you can get down to receiving. See Drake London, 72 yards, 4 targets, 4 catches, long of 30, and a tutty. Let me see. Is there a promo for Caesars today? They're doing the touchdown boost. They're doing an SNF boost, but that's it. All right. So really not a lot of shit to do today, but let's move it in. Let's start doing it and let's get after it. Let's find some good EV. Let's find some winning bets. So I want to go game by game as always. The one game that I have the most interest in, and I think it's might as well just cook it now, is the Commanders-Lions game. I know it seems probably pretty square at this point. I think a lot of people are on the Lions, as the Commanders have been getting blown out the last 2 games. We know JD5's hurt. We know the Lions are coming into that revenge game narrative, losing to JJ McCarthy and co. And of course, they lost to the Commanders in DC, in Detroit in the NFC divisional game last year. But I think this is an absolute Lions blowout spot. I bet the -7.5, but there's also 2 touchdown bets that I bet. And we're going alternate here. Jahmyr Gibbs, 2+ touchdowns, +625 at MGM is so off market. I know obviously MGM is a square book and there's not a lot that can get down there, but I think Gibbs, I actually got this at 650 a couple days ago. But this 625 at it was 650 up until about this morning, but this 625 still is to me a great bet. Washington struggles with like premier talents on offense, but their defense is even more injured than it was all year. So I think Gibbs 2+ tutty 625 is a great bet. Another one that's just so off market here that I love. He hasn't done shit this year so far, but give me Big G Jameson Williams 2-1. I got this as well at this price. To score 2 touchdowns. So Washington struggles with guys with speed. Washington struggles with deep balls down the field. Jameson Williams, of course, can even get like a rushing attempt to get some yards on the ground and put in a touchdown. I think Jameson Williams also, because their offensive coordinator said, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, maybe even 3, that he was taking the blame for Jameson Williams not getting enough touches. He said, like, that's on me. Jameson Williams isn't doing anything wrong. I need to get Jameson Williams the ball more. And it didn't happen last week against the Vikings. But against the Commanders, if Jameson Williams is not the guy to get the football against the Washington Commanders, I don't know when Jameson Williams is going to get the football. I do want to look at Amon-Ra because I think I saw his odds around the same as JMO's, and Amon-Ra is absolutely live for 2 tutties. But I went with JMO. I went with Gibbs, both of them to score 2 touchdowns. Obviously, I only expect one to hit. If either of them hit, of course, we're betting 2+ touchdowns. So good chance that neither hit the window. 650 at MGM for Amon-Ra. If you sprinkle on that as well and go with 3 guys, yes, you can lose all 3, of course. Yes, you can only hit 1 of 3. The odds of hitting 2 or 3 or all 3 of them are obviously very, very low, if not almost probably impossible. But realistically, it's all good. Give me some of the big dogs in Detroit to feast. And we'll come back to this game to Cook and SGP, but I just want to call out those bets because those are some of my favorite plays of the day. Detroit minus 7.5 is probably my best or my favorite side bet of the day. But in terms of like long shot player props, we'll find some anytime touchdowns now, of course, as well as some first touchdowns. But those to score 2, I absolutely love. So that's the first of game that I have game line in. And the second game I took a side in. Where are we? We went to Houston. I bet the Houston Texans money line. Bet that minus 104. I know earlier in the week there was a lot of plus money out there. Looks like this 105 at DK is the best price. I would still bet it if you guys want to tail at this 105 number. I think that Davis Mills at this point probably isn't a massive downgrade over CJ Stroud. And this Jaguars team, no Brian Thomas. I know he hasn't had a great season. He's had actually probably a terrible season realistically, but I think that that's not really a function of anything that's I think Jacksonville's still going to struggle. We know how good this defense was. That first game was 17-10. Jaguars did break away at the end and just score that one last touchdown to win by 7+, or to win by 7 straight. But I like the Texans to win the second one of this matchup. This defense is still way too damn good. I think they're going to get pressure on Lawrence all day long. And I think this offense will actually do well with Davis Mills. He's a competent backup who knows the system. And I also think that they'll be able to get some stuff going on the ground. I know their ground game has been awful, and the Jags' ground D has been great. But I did actually bet some Woody over rush attempts. This 9.5 right here at DK, minus 109. Best price in market, still there, still good looking. I bet this, and I would bet this again, honestly. So if you guys want to tail as well, Houston money line, Woody Marks over 9.5 rushing attempts are 2 props that I bet. I bet one side and one prop in this one. So that's where I'm at here. I'm going to keep looking at Twitter a lot today. I'll switch the screen as well because there's going to be some weather to monitor. So always want to be on top of that. Excuse me. Some weather to monitor. I don't know if we've got any reports. PTO does have some weather indicators as well on their site, which makes it easy. Let's see if we're seeing any of them here. I forget which interface it's in, but they do have weather updates live on in here as well. I want to get my other tabs going so I can look at some weather stuff. And also, we'll see some underdog last minute guys who are getting ruled out. And also, we'll look at our Prime Sportsbook Pros versus Joe's report when that drops from Patrick Everson, as that's always an interesting thing to look at here. Not much. So let's go game one game here. We'll keep checking it on here. Looks like the Colts about to belly the 2-minute warning. Bills Fins. So I didn't bet this game, but I do think Miami is actually live on the money line. I'm not going to lie. This 470 at Fanatics is the best price, so I would bet that. The spread did go down from 8.5 to 9. From 9.5 to 8.5. I don't think I'm going to end up pulling trigger on Miami because I did miss a good number, though. 9.5. I wish I got a 10.5. Never got there. Ours from 9.5. So this 108 at DK is actually good. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to bet this right now. Of course, we're close to game time. We're not going to find like a ton of EV, but with that being said, if things are still moving and things are delayed, there are some EVs to capture, and I think this is one of them. I think Miami could actually win this game, as crazy as that sounds. I know the injuries to Buffalo really are not looking so hot on the defensive side of the ball, and this game in that first matchup was actually so much closer than even like the big final there. We know what happened to turning the ball over like he normally does, and while that's always going to be a potential opportunity for Tua Tagovailoa because he's always going to do that. Um, I still think that this is a little bit too much, especially because Buffalo, they love to run the ball. They're not a team that really does separate and kill by margin like way too often. So give me Miami plus 9.5. I see this is 8, and I clicked the wrong thing here. This just moved. But there we go, 9.5 minus 105. So just like that, we get even 3 cents better. So Miami plus 9.5 minus 105. This is waiting to update here. Yep, just updates right there on PTO, of course, real time. Just got some extra cents there on Miami as this is FanDuel just locks. Did we just get some news? Let me check Underdog quick. Was there any news on some rule ins? Drake London headed to the medical tent. I'm sure you guys are watching that and see that. TreVeyon Henderson, Kyle Williams expected to be more involved in Week 10. All right, nothing too new so far. Bills, Jaguars, and trade talks for Quinn Williams. Don't care about these hypotheticals. What are your thoughts on Miami third quarter money line? So great question, AAC. I'm assuming you're seeing some EV on one of the tools here. What I think, and this, by the way, this just went to 109. So we just net this 105 here in Miami, which is great. My honest answer is which is probably dumb because I talked about this on stream before. I don't know how. I don't really bet any third quarter or second halves pre-game because I don't know. I feel like those are markets that will move so much throughout the game. But that being said, that probably does sound and is probably dumb because of the fact that we are betting full games where after 2 drives, you can get a much better price on a spread, on a money line, etc. So my thought process is probably flawed, but I don't really bet those markets because I feel like those are something where, depending on the game script, you can get such a better price during the game, especially once it goes to half. Obviously, of course, depending on how the game goes, it could flip the other way. So I would just say trust the EV if you figure that. I still haven't found a rational answer, honestly, for what to do in those situations because I do see those pop up a lot on my EV screen. Third quarter money line, second half money line, second half spreads, etc. But I haven't really been betting them just because of what I just said. But that's probably a flawed thought process. I probably should be betting them or at least tracking them to get my hypothesis going and or throw my hypothesis out the window and just start betting them. Example here, we see in Miami, it's right here, 2 second half spreads. Both look at 6.1%, the bookmaker into prime. But for whatever reason, to me, I'm just second half, we don't know how this game's going to go. Why am I betting a second half pre-flop? But that, again, is probably a dumb thought process because why would we bet a full game pre-flop, which is also at this point a bit debatable, where I know live betting has become so much more optimal, realistically, in a lot of situations. So that's just, again, my thoughts there, AC. But let's look at the EV. Dylan Sampson, this has been popping up all day. I've been seeing this for a long time. The Jets, obviously, traded away Quinn Williams, looking like a game where they'll let up some points here. 15-1 for Sampson. What has Sampson been doing lately? I haven't been checking in. I'm just curious. I'm just looking at it from a value standpoint. Just curious. Yeah, honestly, me too, bro. I'm in your boat. I'm not going to sit here and say I know for a fact what to do in this situation because I genuinely don't. I definitely should either track. I should do both of these things, track and then talk to some sharper people and get their opinions on that because I am curious myself, honestly, because maybe we're missing out on some great bets all year, but we could still be taking them for the rest of the year here. But let's look at Sampson because I'm curious what's been in the recent weeks. So I haven't really been paying attention to Cleveland. But this 15-1 at ESPN has been up all day, and there's EV to the point where I probably should just bet it regardless. But I feel like his rush attempts have definitely gone down. Let's just even look at week 9 and 8 and just see where it's gone. I guess they're on bye week 9. Yep, week 7. Let's see the last couple of weeks. So I'm curious here. Sampson, 6 total carries, nothing inside the red zone. Is he getting? I know he'd like to throw the ball to him a decent bit. Is he getting some targets still? Yes, he still is. He's getting actually a great amount of targets. So he is on the field. Let's see his opportunity percentage here. It's actually third on the Browns. And his total snaps is about 41% of lagging. All right, we're back. Base, how many targets is getting a game? He's getting 3.5 still. So this is actually probably worth betting. Going back to PTO here, this 15 to 1. Odds are telling me it's only Divig to Kalshi and Novig. Kalshi at 944, Novig 1150, bookmaker, FanDuel. It does check all the boxes, honestly, for a long shot, fun touchdown to bet. So I'm going to go ahead and track this. I think this is worth it from the EV perspective. It's a fun one, 15 to 1. Obviously, not expecting a ton here, but Dylan Sampson, 15 to 1. Anytime, Tutty. Beautiful. Next best prices, FanDuel, DK. Okay. Beautiful. Let's go back to PTO and let's find some more props. So I've bet a lot of stuff pregame, like I mentioned. We're going to see what shows up now, but I'll talk about them. This Mac Hollins 550 to Penny and Novig. See where those odds are at. We're getting a little lag here. I'm going to refresh. Computer has been great all season long. Don't be dying on me now, boys. Okay, Mac Hollins, 550. This is probably worth it as well. We know the Buccaneers, pass defense, Mac Hollins, 550. I think this is definitely worth it from an EV perspective, honestly. I'm going to get in. Mac Hollins, it is plus 550. Definitely interested at BetMGM there, if you can get down there. Let's see. Bryce Young over touchdown passes. I saw 170 at MGM as well, but this 180 at if you have a 365, this is absolutely worth it. What's poppin' biz? What I miss? We'll go through it all in 1 second here. So this Bryce Young plus 180 at 365, 2+ passing touchdowns is definitely bettable. Even this 170 at MGM, if that's all you have, is also EV to bet it. We bet this Dylan Sampson 15 to 1 anytime. We're betting this Mac Hollins plus 550 anytime. And the other things that you missed are Houston money line minus 104. Let me see. I have it written down. Houston money line. Detroit minus 7.5. I also bet for fun. Well, not before fun. Woody Marks over 9.5 rushing attempts minus 109 at DK, and I bet Jahmyr Gibbs 2+ touchdowns and Jameson Williams 2+ touchdowns at plus 650 and at plus 2,000 for Williams respectively. Going with some long shots there in that Detroit game. That's one of my favorite games for scoring. So we'll definitely be cooking up an SGP for that as well. But I'm locking in this Mac Hollins quickly here. Anytime TD. Mac Hollins plus 550. Beautiful. All righty. Getting some lag today. What is going on? Okay. Beautiful. All right, so let's keep looking. We haven't that's all we've talked about so far. I have a lot of stuff again that I bet pre-game. But we'll go from there. All right. Bills Dolphins. We bet the Dolphins plus 9.5 minus 105, but it did just move while we were on here, so this might not be available anymore. This was like a quick move. Yeah, it went down to 8.5. So we got the last plus 9.5 that was available. Unfortunately, Biz, sorry to say. But let's look at some props here. We obviously have a high total. I think Miami is definitely going to keep this one, relatively close. Definitely interested in some first touchdowns on both sides here. Kincaid's been killing the first touchdown department, but we got best prices here. Bookmaker Circa. What's JA? Yeah, 6-1. No, thank you. Obviously understandable. Jimmy Cook plus 450. Not going to do it from a price perspective. We can go down the board with the Bills here, but 35-1. That's Circa there. Where's like Keon? Keon hasn't done shit in so long. 15-1. So Keon, at this point, the Buffalo players besides JA and I guess Kincaid and of course James Cook are kind of like a crapshoot here. Miami side HN, yeah, too good for HN at this point. Greg DeLuch, 40-1. This 50-1 at MGM is actually intriguing. I think this is worth betting. I'm not gonna lie. We had some good DeLuch stuff 2 weeks ago on Thursday Night Football against the Ravens, and he had a really good share. Let's look at some of his numbers here. He has become their like offensive tight end. Obviously, Waller's out. They have some other guys, but their really best offensive option is DeLuch. And we're getting the second chance promo here. Obviously, this is like, not expected to hit by any means whatsoever here, but I like this. I like this a lot. Here. So targets the last couple of weeks here. DeLuch still lagging with 5 total targets, but he's caught all 5 balls for 49 yards. So much better than Tanner Conner, though he's playing much fewer snaps. But let's take out week 7. And his snap count is rising to 31%. And we take out week 8 as well. Week 9, 34.9. So his snap count has been on the up and up. And he is still behind Connor, but he's gotten many, many more targets, 5 targets, 5 catches. So the one game he did turn into like their biggest offensive threat. So I'm going to go with him first touchdown, 10-1. 50-1 at MGM. That's a fun one for this Dolphins Bills game. Anything else I'd bet here pregame in this game? No. So we'll take a look here, but let's go back to the EV screen and see if we find some stuff worth betting quickly. Oh, God. It's going slow today. Bet the Sampson, bet this Hollins. I love this Bryce Young over passing touchdowns as well. Let's go. There we go. Parker Washington under 4.5 receptions. I love this as well at MGM. This is definitely worth betting. 6.4% EV. Let me lock this in as well. Definitely like the Texans here. I know that obviously BTJ is not playing today, but this Parker Washington under is definitely a good look. Let's see. Player receptions made. Parker Washington under 4.5, minus 105. Locked and loaded. Beautiful. Sean Tucker anytime. A little backup RB action here. Another one that is popping off the screen. I'm not going to lie. I like this. I like this a lot. I'm curious. Let's go back to FTN here. Let's look at some of Sean Tucker's stuff here because I'm curious what the role has been in recent weeks. But from a pricing perspective, that's already interesting. Very interesting. Parker Washington. Oh, they were off last week. Sean Tucker. Let's see. This is receiving. He has 0 targets, 33% of snaps, rushing percentage here. 19 snaps, 12 attempts. So it's not like he's really getting overly attempted. And he has more red zone and goal line touchdowns. This Sean Tucker, plus 450, absolutely worth betting also. A lot of stuff so far. Let's do it. We're getting some fun long shot touchdown odds. Hopefully this is the day where the chalk does not prevail, though we have a JT touchdown and a London touchdown in the first game, which is big time chalk here. What team is this? This is the Patriots Bucks, and here is the weather implications on PTO. So we're seeing some patchy rain nearby, as you can see. Some winds coming in, 7.8, 7.2. Looks like some rain Possibly. It's a hot day down in Tampa. So maybe it looks like the weather will hold off a bit, which would be very, very nice. But Sean Tucker, anytime Tutty plus 450. I'm intrigued. I'm absolutely intrigued. And I'm betting it. I also like Tez Johnson, but his number has moved a lot. But we saw that report that they want to get Kyle Williams the ball more. Let's go actually right to that game. Let's go to this Patriots Buccaneers game. I was intrigued by the over on Stream Wednesday. I didn't bet it. We have like a fun parlay Jake and I built on Stream Wednesday that we had included this. Get that out of my way. Patriots Buccaneers total is high. It's 48.5. So definitely expecting scoring, which is understandable here. But I want to pull up Jennings because I think his number has moved a bit. He's the back who scored, and we know that this 320, it's probably not worth it anymore. The 335 at Rivers actually definitely is if you have a Rivers or a combi book to use because Terrell Jennings was the back who scored last week, and we still know that they don't like Travion Henderson for whatever that's worth. They're just like really low on him. And what was the report we read? It was Travion Henderson, Kyle Williams expected to be more involved in week 10. That sounds like coach speak to me. Let's see what Kyle Williams' touchdown is. Where is he? Kyle Williams, New England. He's plus 475, plus 500. But again, if we go back to FTN and we look at the last week in itself, Jennings is the back that scored. Jennings is the one who took the football and ran it into the end zone. This is week 8. We'll get week 9 and 2. We know Stevenson, of course. Let's see. Red zone, rushing. Terrell Jennings, 3 red zone. Detravion had 5, but on the goal line when it was like 3rd and 1, or it was like right on the 1-yard line there. That was Terrell Jennings' carry. So I like Jennings over. Yeah, I mean, Kyle Williams, 42 snaps on the season, I guess that is. Didn't play that much. But I don't know. I think the pricing gap between Travion, which he is score plus 150 versus a plus 335 for a guy who's more of a coin flip. I absolutely think that the way to go there is Terrell Jennings to score a touchdown. So locked in Tucker, locked in Jennings in a game. Again, the high total. So hopefully we're on the right side there. But I did bet some actually some unders here. And I bet a Tez Johnson. This was earlier in the week. So let's see if this is still available. But I bet it's under receptions. Tez Johnson. We know Igbuka's back. Under 3.5. I got it at plus 120. But this plus 110 at MGM still looks pretty good. It's 108 at Bookmaker. So it's not nearly as good as the 120 was. But this is still something I think I would bet. I don't think this is a situation for him to put up 4 catches. I mean, I know he's got some good metrics. He's done some good things, but I bet that. And another bet that I made here in this one, which I guess coincides well with our thoughts on what's going on in this game. I bet this Drake May over. I got it, though, at 118. So, unfortunately, this is out of the betting range. But if you are putting together like a fun parlay or something to reduce some juice, have some fun, which, totally up to you. I think that this Drake May over passing touchdowns. I bet at 118. But at this point, it's probably just a parlay only situation. The odds have moved drastically, and it's not in a spot where it's worth betting straight at this point, unfortunately. But looking at it, we got our Pros versus Joes report from Prime Sportsbook. We want to, take a look at that here. Sharp action on the Giants, the Rams, the Saints, and the Eagles at the 3. That number hasn't been there for a minute. Biggest house needs Dolphins plus 9.5. So we're on the house side, which I'm not mad about. Commanders plus 8. Of course, we're on a big fade. We're on Detroit. Niners plus 4.5. But they're saying pros are on the Bills. I'm on the Dolphins. And we got a good number and it moved. So I guess time will tell. Pros are on the Giants over the Bears. We haven't bet anything in that one. And Cardinals over the Seahawks. We'll get to that game as well. Pros versus Joes United, Browns at Jets, Ravens at Vikings, Eagles at Packers, Rams at Niners. Most best total, fading the Bears, and this is supposed to be a weather game. Chargers Steelers under, probably just not expecting a ton of points. Cards Seahawks under, probably just not expecting a ton of points there. But let's keep digging in here. Let's actually go to this Browns Jets game. So this was a game where obviously the Jets are fresh off selling their souls at the deadline, getting rid of Sauce, getting rid of Quinn and Williams, and we bet the Samson anytime. At this point, what does a Judkins look like? It's probably crazy. Only 125. I actually really like this. We have the DraftKings parlay boost. I'm going to add Judkins as a leg, honestly. We have a 3. It's got to be 3+ legs here. I think Judkins is absolutely worth it at 125. With the boost, we're going to have EV to Circa regardless. We already do right away. But this Jets defense without Quinn Williams on the ground, I expect to be abysmal. And we know the Browns love just running it down people's throats. So that's a good one for adding to that boost here. Lions Commanders, I think for this boost, because we're getting some boosted 145. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is just worth it as well. I have Gibbs 2+ touchdowns. So in this parlay, I'm absolutely willing to put some Gibbs in it. We're going to try to get some 4-1 here. Excuse me, 4-1. We're going to try to get 10-1. That's 2 legs. So we're going with some chalk in this lay, which is understandable. Those are 2 bits of chalk right there. Rams and Steelers Chargers tonight. So those are 2 legs that we'll keep in on tap, and we'll see what else pops up to add to that. Let's go back to the EV here and see what's popping up. I had a lot of things popping up. A lot of them this morning. As we know, close to game time, things are going to be moving and grooving big time. The Samson, that what's his name is gone. That Mac Hollins is gone. So hopefully we ended up with a good bet there. The Hollins went to one other screen here. Now we still at 550, but some other book must have moved. So unfortunately, maybe didn't get a great CLV. We'll see how it goes, but a lot of Novig here, JSN, this Bryce Young still there, 4.2%. I love and I bet. James Cook under 17 rush attempts. Interesting. 4% EV. Like, this is bettable. Like, this is absolutely a bet already. I know the Bills love to ground and pound, and they can do it with the best of them. And I think for our Dolphins bet, we prefer this to be a low, more of a rushing game just to keep the spread closer. But James Cook, how many did he have in that first matchup against the Bills? Just out of curiosity. Excuse me, against the Dolphins. He had, I'm looking at my ESPN quickly. Out of curiosity here. James Cook against the Dolphins had 19 carries. So obviously not inconceivable. He has some massive carry games as we see. But in a game script, I think that could potentially get in a a potential pass happy mode. I think this is a good one. This is a high rushing attempt number. So I'm gonna bet this at MGM here. Rushing attempts. Where is it? I hate how these books do their action. 17.5 is a high number. I know he's gotten there. He can get there. Do you ever do defensive touchdowns in a game? No, because I feel like the juice is sometimes like never worth the squeeze. With that being said, PTO actually has a filter for defensive touchdowns where you can like completely do an additional bet type here to your player prop for defensive TDs. I actually don't know who to DVig from. I would assume it would have to be kind of the same usual suspects there. Let me get this in here though. This James Cook under. Sorry, I hate how I don't connect on this computer when I'm streaming, so I have to go to this computer. Okay, so let's see who to DVig from. I would assume, I don't think Circa really puts those odds up. I would have to assume some FanDuel. I'll go 0 on Circa. I'll do 0.5 across the board here, and we'll see if anything pops up. Of course, there are situations where we think defensive touchdowns make sense. In this Browns game, I think is a great situation where a defensive touchdown could make sense. Add some Novig in case they have it. I don't know if they do. EV controls, flat betting 200. We'll do max with minimum with 2 books. Sports books, we'll keep it to the books that are generally widely available just for you guys. Probably add BOL. Leagues, stick to NFL. ROI minimum 0.25%. So I always want to see higher. Max results, wanted to see 100. Liquidity 100. So we're not seeing really nonsense. So added defensive TD filter. That being said, I haven't really bet them because I don't really see them on the EV screen because they haven't really been set. You just watched me set it there. But I think obviously there are games where you're like looking at them and you're like, yeah, I could definitely see a defender scoring in this one. So let's see what happens here. This Sampson's still hanging out there. So is this Bryce Young, the Sean Tucker as well. All right, JSN over receptions, dog. I mean, look at all the books we're deviating from for this 365. I mean, I know it's a 170. So still 8.1% EV. I see a lower total, so just wonder if it made sense. I mean, it definitely has to make sense. Obviously, we know defensive players score touchdowns. We know teams score touchdowns. It is always, of course, like an adventure because you have to not only force a turnover, but take that shit to the crib. So obviously those are normally priced accordingly, but there's been times where like Jake and I on stream, we've talked about like potentially looking at that. And there've been so low odds. We're like, all right, it's probably not worth it at the price. And little do you know, those are the games where the defensive touchdowns come in. So who knows here? Ravens Vikings. I bet an Addison under receptions. Let's see if that's still priced in a good spot here. We'll find some more first tutties, of course. We'll get these promos bet as well. I'm just anti JJ McCarthy. I don't think that, he threw for nothing last game. I know they won, so at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Don't get me wrong, but under 3.5 receptions, I bet that at where was it? Addison plus 120. So this minus, yeah, at this point it's gone. I mean, at Novig, this plus 113 is still definitely worth looking at here. So I would take a look at that at Novig if you're interested in still tailing this Addison under. But I'm curious. Let's go back to FTN and let's see what it's really been like with McCarthy from a target perspective for these guys. I know Jefferson's struggling. Addison, see receptions, targets. Addison has 8 total targets, 5 receptions. So they're trying to force feed Jettas. And against Baltimore, I think he'll be able to like gap some success force feeding to Jettas. Has only 8 targets over 2 games, 5 catches. I think that's just a product of, again, how bad McCarthy is in this offense against the Ravens, who are now hot. Like the Ravens are at a point where their defense is healthy. They're doing what we expect to do now. I know they could definitely be doubling, Jefferson leading to some Addison opportunities. But at this point, I'm kind of anti. But we got to get some more tutties in here for this DraftKings lay. Colts game is back. What do we got going on here? Falcons are looking like they're going to be taking a field goal opportunity here if they're on the Indianapolis Colts 25 on 4th and 5. So this game, fun one in Germany to start the day. Don't expect a ton of scoring in Jaguars Texans whatsoever. Giants Bears, another weather game here. So I actually bet Dart over passing touchdowns just because the number I feel like has moved so much, even with the weather potential. This 170, it's now 180 actually at Circa and Bookmaker, so it went the other way. So this is probably actually going to be a loser because I got it at 170 at MGM, but these numbers were a lot lower. This was as low as like 140 when I bet it. I bet this earlier this morning. Gone the other way. So the weather looks like it's probably getting worse. And it's going to be as bad as anticipated. So I was trying to like fade where it's like, all right, maybe the number moved too much and the sharp books were staying good on a good price, but looks like I made a bad bet, unfortunately. Bookmaker as well was, in that 160 range, 150, but now it's shooting all the way back up to 180. So Jackson Dart, not worth it at this point, unfortunately. What's the total now? Total now is sitting 44.5. So this has moved a good bit. But again, weather correlated here. So the weather definitely looking like it's going to be annoying in there. So let's look at some Rams Niners. Obviously the game of the week now, at least definitely in the 4 o'clock. It is technically America's game of the week on Fox. High total. I like some Juwan Jennings. 5+ catches I took. Juwan Jennings. Definitely the Rams, excuse me, the Niners, like best option at this point outside of CMC. I got it at plus 125. So this are some still good prices. This plus 110 at MGM is still good for Juwan Jennings receptions. So I would still bet that. But let's see. Let's see. We have a Gibbs, we have a Judkins for this boost. Patriots, Buccaneers, Cardinals, Seahawks. Lions, Commanders. I mean, I know a lot of touchdowns can be scored here. I definitely still do love Gibbs, like 2+. What's Laporta? List of receptions. Okay. I was going to say, what's going on here? Anytime TD for Sam Laporta. 140. Nothing at circa yet. So probably not the best way Falcons kick that field goal as we see here. Ravens, Vikings. Let's see. Zay Flowers. What's Flowers? 155, 145. Bateman. 280. Nothing at circa. Bad price opinion bookmaker. Where's the king? Even though the king has definitely looked like he lost his crown. 150, 145. No good. Just trying to find another prop here. Saints, Panthers, Giants, Bears, Bills, Dolphins. I mean, what is James Cook? Probably ridiculous. 185, 175. So there actually still is good value for this touchdown prop because we're going to get boosted. So we already have a good price to circa, and then now we're going to get an even better price with the boost. Now I know we're parlaying, but I'm going with the chalk here, honestly. In this brings us to 416. It's only actually the 491. I'm about to find one more, and again, I don't mind being on the chalk. 3 RB1s. Doesn't deter me at all because we're using this boost here. Steelers, Chargers. Game is, I think, has a lower total, expecting an under. Jaguars, Texans. I don't think anybody could score that good game. Could easily be 6-0 with 2 field goals, and I would not be shocked. Patriots, Bucks. Like, I don't want to bet Travion. This isn't the game where I expect, like, who's a stud that I do expect to score based on, situation. I mean, at this point, there's really nothing. These matchups, this is not a single game where I'm like, yo, like this guy is definitely scoring because I just like think so. The closest thing to that is probably Jahmyr Gibbs, but again, that's like chalk and not a hot take. Cardinals, Seahawks, I could definitely see being a lower scoring game. Let's see if let's find something from the EV screen and just add that in here. You could just lock in these 3. Not nearly as fun, but they have the EV, so fun could probably be pushed to the side. And we, just take a good bet and don't have to force odds, even though I love got myself some bigger odds. That Tucker is still there. Let's see if we have any touchdowns here. Showing up on DK. James Cook is still there, but that Dowdle 20.5. This is a lot of rushing attempts, but obviously Dowdle is probable to get that against the Saints team. That stinks. But I don't know. Saints are very interesting for a survivor. I know that in circa the highest, the biggest exposure is on the Saints today. Excuse me, the Panthers today. So EV, if some other entries are higher, should we bet some Saints to get in on some of the chaos? Because who would have thought the Panthers would be laying this many points at this point in the season, or at any point in this season, realistically? Definitely not me. I thought they'd be better, but 5-4, laying 5.5 at one point. And the 2.6s. Aaron Jones under receptions. This is moving here. Let's pull this up. A lot of movement there. That could closed. Interesting. 115. Okay, so seeing 2.6% EV. It looks, this is probably a good one. 365, same price. 110 at Bet99. That's an interesting one. This Aaron Jones under 2.6%. So kind of low. Kamara plus 210 over at FanDuel.
though I like to deviate from FanDuel for touchdowns, so I'll probably lay off that. Breece Hall under receptions. This is showing as well. I feel like despite the EV, I feel like I can't bet this. Like the Jets, with the pressure that I anticipate Myles Garrett and that defensive line getting on them, I just feel like this is not a situation where I want to really be involved with betting a ton of anything Breece Hall unders. Like he's to me the guy they're going to have to throw the football to. So I don't necessarily love that. I'm going to lay off. I'm getting to 2%. Check the game lines and see what pops up here if there's anything. We have some obviously last minute moves that could be more meaningful at this point. With the games going as deep as they can here. We have some Falcons money line at Hard Rock. Again, these second halves are popping up. I don't know if they're worth betting, honestly. Miami alternate spread. Alternate over here, 42.5 to no vig and profit. Only 162 at FanDuel. Philly second half, that's on Monday. Game that I actually think I love the Eagles in on Monday. Baltimore second half. Washington first half spread. I don't buy it, man. I don't buy it. I think the Washington's going to get smoked today. Absolutely smoked. New Orleans first quarter. That's a fun one at profit. Miami alternate spread's getting down. I like it. We have our good bet at 9.5. Again, not to the 1.7%. So I want to find one more touchdown for this, but these are games where I don't know what to expect from the chalk here. Falcons ball back. All right, so the Colts looking like losers of 2 straight potentially. Obviously, a lot of game left there. Saints Dolphins. So we have again in this lay, we have Cook, Judkins, Gibbs. So we are going full blown chalk right there. Let's CMC. This has to be touchdowns for this promo that I have. And we could just lock it in with these 3 legs and call it a day, but I'm going to do that and just see how much is my max bet there. $5. Okay, for $5, I'm finding one more prop. If you guys want to lock in just that 3, I don't blame you at all. For the 4 at a 480 price or whatever it was. Let's see, Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, nah, he's shot. He's shot. Because at least we're getting EV on the other ones pre-boost. On this one, we're not. Honestly, I have already exposure to the 2+ touchdowns on Williams and Gibbs, and I'm definitely going to be parlaying an SGP in that game, so I'm going to hold off there. I don't really want the King or Lamar. Saints, Panthers, we could go Dowdle and call it a day. Giants, Bears, weather. We have a bet in here. Patriots defense has been good, so I can't really go with a receiver here. All right, let's look at Panthers. Let's see if we can find anything worth it. Obviously not expected to be a high scoring game at all. We see some AK best price there, but we need DK for this promo. Let's go to Dowdle. What's he at? Is he minus 200? Minus 150. So that's not going to cut it with the odds at circa. That's just going to be a bad leg to add. Tet is playing 2-1, 190. Tedious process trying to find it. Trying to find some manual best prices at DK. Could go with Dart maybe. Big click. Niners, Rams. What's Puka? $140, $140. So it would be EV when we finally do boost it to add Puka to this parlay. Though, I don't know. It feels weird not having a single plus odds touchdown. I kind of just want to go with this is a gut play to a degree. What if we just add JMO? Because he already is somebody I love. I know I'm going to do a parlay with this, but 155, it's going to be EV to Circa and Penny. I know he hasn't done shit, but this is the Jameson Williams matchup. Trey Tucker cooked on them. I mean, it's Amon-Ra. But actually, I might just, because we're going chalk, I might just go Amon-Ra. We'll see on the pricing, though. That's going to dictate. Circa 130, 150. So that's not it, man. That is not it. That is not it. So it might need to be nuts on the table. What's Montgomery? 110, 110. So we look at EV after the boost, but we already got Big G JMO. With JMO, gets us to 1543 for Williams, Gibbs, Judkins, Cook. Because if you guys have any fun that you love for a touchdown, like honestly ball knowledge, like feel free to drop it, because at this point I don't have any like strong feelings of somebody who I'm like, yeah, this guy is scoring today, let's do it. I'm straight market today, honestly. Some closely contested games. I only have 2 game lines bet, being Texans and Lions. We could even go to Monday night for this, I think. Let's see if the promo is. Yeah, it could be for tomorrow as well. So we could make it a 2-day sweat. Odds are changing on me though. What are the odds moving to? Looks like Gibbs just got moved. Okay, so I want to get something in here. About Jaylen Warren at 130. Let's look at it. That's a great call. Game that because of the pros versus Joe's report, I'm expecting an under, but it doesn't mean that nobody's going to score. Could end up at Sunday night here, but let's look at Warren. Getting a ton of carries. Honestly, a dog. This defense definitely overrated a bit for the Packers. 130 to 115, done. That's the answer right there, brother. Getting good odds. 130 at DK, 115 at Circa. We're going to be boosting. 135 at Novig, but with the boost, we'll have better odds. So full day sweat ending with Jaylen Warren. Sign me up. Plus 130. So with the boost, that's plus 1271. Because I want 10 to 1 because I'm greedy for a $5 max bet. That's it, but that's the boost right there. Judkins, Cook, Gibbs, Warren, RB1 season. Chalky chalk, but hey, 30% only touchdown bet boost, $5. I'm in. I just bet it. All right, and on FanDuel, we have the 30% SGP boost. I'm going to pull up FD. We can bring it together. But I think, well, let's see. Let's confirm. Does it have to be SGP or can it be SGPX? Let's see here. The profit boost available. Any NFL bet. Any NFL event, 3+ leg parlay. So it could be anything. Okay. So let's just get FanDuel open, so we can take a look and like start combining. But most of my legs, or at least I'm going to have a leg for an SGP perspective, come from this Commanders game. So let's I think the Lions put up a 40 spot. I really do. Let's do some rush/rec. What is it? Scrimmage yards. Let's do that for Gibbs. What is it at? Oh, guys, at 100. No discounts available. He's at 100, and I don't doubt it for a second that he's at 100. 95.5. It's definitely understandable there. Let's Williams out of curiosity, because I know he can get something going on the ground. They did do some ground stuff with him in the the NFC divisional game. But hold on here. Where's FanDuel? They're not putting up odds for Russian rec for JMO. Are you kidding me? I'm what? What do you mean, man? Tell me there's no Jameson Williams rushing and receiving yard prop at FanDuel. Because that 46.5 just for a straight bet at MGM looked good. Most receiving yards could be fun. Don't get me wrong, boys. We're gonna get some touchdown. I mean, some first touchdowns going. So I have all these crazy markets. We're telling me we don't have a rush plus rec. There we go. No, only Gibbs and Montgomery. Not putting it up for Bill, not putting it up for Debo, not putting it up for Jameson Williams, man. That to me is criminal. Speaking of, though, most receiving yards. JMO's 460. Let's check DraftKings and see what their pricing is, just out of curiosity for anything in this market. Because I love to compare these two prices, but depending if DK has a worse price than JMO, I'm betting JMO. Though Monroe at 120 is pretty sexy. No commander. I don't care. X amount. X amount. I don't care that if they're trailing game script, any of those, like that's not happening. Have the JMO 2+ tutties, which I love. Receiving props, most receiving yards. JMO 340. Okay, so we're not going to just be stealing some value there. But I do want to build this SGP out for this game. And a first touchdown, like if St. Brown, because it definitely could just easily be Gibbs and call it. No good pricing on Williams with Circa being the best odds there. So no, thank you. St. Brown's going to be 6-1, not even 5-1. Okay, so like as much as I think it's going to be St. Brown, definitely not Goff. I'm going to click Laporta. Oh, they could be bringing things up the woodwork. This 12-1 365 is worth it, honestly. I would bet that, but I don't have 365. From a pricing, Laporta looks like the best. But what are they going to Montgomery? 6-1 too. So no love, and I'm not betting. I wouldn't bet a commander here. Like hate to be square here, but I don't care that it's like a public play. I don't know who in the market likes Washington and continues to like give them some love. Their spread has moved in their direction the last 3 weeks, and they've gotten blown out 2 of those 3 weeks. And I know that like this is the one where the public watch them get smoked, and they're finally probably at a point where it's like the Commanders stink, Lions revenge game, blah blah blah. I hate to say, I actually think that that's correct. Like in this particular instance, I think that thought process generally is not the way to find good bets all in all. But I think in this game that this is how it's going to shake out. Jets Browns first here. You could probably find a good first tutty. I mean, let's see. Like, what's Fannin? Okay, this 15-1 at Sport Zeno, I would bet. 14-1 at 365. I wish I had 365 because I would just nuke it too quickly. Judkins, nope, straight chalk. Not a great. What's like Fields though? Breaks one 13-1 to 12-1 at Circa. Not loving it. Brees. If we're getting like a 10-1 on Brees, no. 8-1 though, pretty interesting for an RB1. FanDuel just dropped. I have a theory, not like a theory, like a real theory, but like I wouldn't be shocked if like the Jets do come out firing with all the like the trades they made at the deadline. That obviously this team's expected to stink, but I'm actually betting this Brees. I know the Browns' rush defense is amazing. Jets stink overall. I do think that they could still utilize him in the passing game. An RB1 at 850, especially one that gets like all the carries, but he doesn't really get all the carries, right? Let's go to FTN quickly. Because this is we hit the Genty first touchdown on Thursday, and that was kind of the thesis, was just like we're getting 8-1 on a running back that gets every single carry, more or less, as close to every carry you can get for a running back. Like, how do we not bet that 8-1, even though they're 9.5 point dogs and that cashed? Now here, red zone, it's back to being Hall's show in weeks 8 and 9. That's only 1 game sample though. Week 7 as well. Hall. And week 6. Hall. I mean, they're struggling to get down there. I'm betting this. 8-1 Brees Hall. I'm in. So first touchdowns, we have Greg DeLuch in that Miami game 50-1, and then we're going. It's completely other spectrum. Brees Hall plus 850. I'm curious what his anytime odds are. Again, I know how good the Browns run defense is. This is just a market price. FanDuel at 650, Circa at 7-1. It's just a market bet, and a market bet are the bets I love to do. 185 at DK as well. I wish I clicked this earlier, honestly, for that boost. We do have another 10. I'm going to add that because we have a 10% boost. This one I want to get a little bit more frisky, and Brees Hall right there is a good one to get. And what else did we bet? Honestly, I could add Houston money line to that at 105 because that's plus 456. And what else did we bet from DK? That Woody rush attempts, if that's still there, which has been a while, so that could also be telling us a little bit if that's still there. Rushing props, rush attempts. It is still 109, 749 with the boost, 824. So nah. Gonna get rid of that. So Brees, anytime Houston, Colts in the red zone, 4th and 1 I was checking on this quickly. I'm sure you guys are watching this happen before me. 4th and 1 at the Atlanta 19. Colts always aggressive, though. Obviously, they are down, but a field goal wouldn't tie this one. So I could definitely see them doing a little sneak here or something. Obviously, hand off to JT. Oh, passing attempt. Did we see it? First down. Who was it? Let's check the game log here because I do have a Warren under, but I think that's cooked. This is rushing, receiving. Targets 5, receptions 4. So one more catch for Warren. I'm cooked as can be. Pittman also had an over. He's cooked. So it looks like I'm getting cooked in the first game. But if we do get if I do get a Josh Downs tutty, then I'm back in this bitch. So I'm rooting for that. But let's see what else you could find for the DK 10% boost. 3-leg lay, unfortunately. Okay, Samson 14-1, so we did get some value there. That was a 15-1. The Luch went up to 7-1 anytime. We have the first. Like, it's probably worth it, man. It's probably worth it. We have the first with the second chance promo. If you guys have MGM, I love this. I'm not gonna lie. Because he is their tight end, and we know the injuries to the Bills. If you don't know, Bills are banged the hell up, and obviously, like, Waddle is their number one option. But at this point, like, Malik Washington probably number 2, 3-1. You know, Ali Gordon, they love to run the football. Achane, of course, that dog. I'm anti Westbrook Akine. Give me the offensive tight end. I'm betting that Deluge 7-1. I bet it. 11.8% EV. And done. Oh, that Sean Tucker still there. Isaiah Davis under. But with this Browns defense, I could see that being tough. Deluge over receptions also showing EV. Tyrone Tracy. Jackson Dart plus 215. Done. Lock that in. So this is it. I'm doing Breece Hall anytime. Texans money line and Jackson Dart touchdown for this DraftKings boost. And I'm betting that Dart straight. So with the boost, that's plus 1018. I lock that in. Hall, Dart, Texans money line. And I'm betting that Dart straight. Plus 215. All right, got it down. Beautiful. All right. All right, we're cooking, boys. That Hall went down to 750, so we got in at a good price at that 8.5-1. So very nice, and that's the end of our DK boosts for today, which is no big deal. We'll keep finding some EV across the board. Some Achane rushing over here at Novig. Plus 111. This is a good price. 107 bookmaker, but this Achane looks pretty good. Marvin Harrison over. We know that they finally throw him the football. 25. Speaking of, let's go to Marvin. I'm curious what his first touchdown is. Because he hit last game and like they're throwing him the football like it's nobody's business. If he's still getting priced at like not a legit WR1 price, then he's probably a must bet. It looks like the Colts turned it over. What happened? Quick digression. What happened? Play by play. Turnover on downs. Okay, so they got that first down, but cannot get a second. Damn. Colts cannot do it. 6 turnover on downs. But that's 49ers Rams. About to click Cardinals. Player prop. First TD. What's Marv? Yeah, betting this. Absolutely betting that. 13-1 at DK. Oh, Brees went up to 650, boys. We sniped. Boys. Let's do it again right now. Let's confirm it quickly. Where'd it go? 13-1. Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm in. I'm absolutely in. First TD, Marvin Harrison Jr. 13-1. Lock that in. All right, so we have 3 first tutties, one being Deluche, one being Brees. Now, Marv, I'd bet another one, honestly, for fun today, especially because Deluche is 50-1. So not expecting obviously not expecting any of them to hit, but I'm not expecting that one to hit, even though Brees now we snagged a great price on Brees. So I'm hoping that Brees is our golden goose there with a bang. Marvin Harrison 13-1. Love that. Ravens Vikings. What are they giving like a Zay Jones at this price now? I mean Zay Flowers, excuse me, not Zay Jones. 10-1 at Play Now Sports I'd be interested in, but not available to me. Best price. DK not a horrible price, but that's not it for me. Let me see if there's anything else I bet pregame that's worth diving into. No, we've talked about everything. We've talked about everything. So now it's only what we find now, which is more than fine. You can also maybe find something live here. What are the Colts money line live? You can get a 155 at Rivers. Looks like we're going to the half here. Not the half, you know what I mean, the fourth quarter. Looks like that to be the situation here. Let's see. Let's see what is going on. All right, third intermission. So we're going to the fourth quarter. Give me a sec here. Alrighty. All right, let's see if there's anything else from Underdog. Any notes we need to know. I'll pull it up in a sec. Pet McMillan, hamstring active. Cedric Tillman, hamstring active. Kamara active. Fannin active. Ollie Gordon, Aaron Jones active. Josh Palmer inactive. DeAndre Swift will play. London is back in the game, as I'm sure we all know by now. And he's an absolute dog. Completely cooking. Completely freaking cooking. So we've gone through really everything. I haven't bet a ton of game lines. We can go to the odds screen and look at everything from a money line perspective. Any like live dogs or anything. This Dolphins price plummeted. There was a 450 out there. Obviously, a very big long shot there. Jets 116 at Bookmaker. Have not bet that game. Jags Texans. So we have a 104. So we currently are being the market a bit, but that 105 at TK Novig, the 120 circa, 110, 110. So these completely flipped. If you did some early week betting and you like the Texans, you probably sitting on some plus chicken there, which is nice. Commies are not live dogs. And the birds, I love the birds for tomorrow. I didn't bet it yet, and I was at 116 at FanDuel. I was at even money, so I botched there. But we can build out a Lions Commanders, a little bit of a parlay here. We'll I have FanDuel open, but I want to use some legs for this for my FanDuel boost because I'm so interested. Let's sort of Jameson Williams again. The fact that his scrimmage yards aren't up to me is very annoying because I think he could definitely do something on the ground. Let's see, receiving yards for JMO, 110 at circa 112, 46.5, 44.5. What are receptions? I know he's not a big receptions guy, but they could be, pricing a bit too low. 3.5. Like, that's just not good, man. Don't throw him the football. I know they said they want to, which is why I'm intrigued because I'm going with the coach speak. It didn't happen last week, but this is a tailor-made JMO game. Tailor-made. Like if JMO can't go off here, when do you expect him to go off? And target-wise, man, he's got 15 targets in his last 3 games. Let's even go back further. 16 targets. So, like, he's not fully out of it per se. 4 targets a game, only 3 catches a game. So the books, like, again, the price is going to dictate all, and they're just not giving me a good enough price on the receptions, even with a boost on the parlay. It's just not it. Like, I'd so much rather just go for some fun stuff. But we have JMO 2 tutties, but we don't have any time in LA. What's him at FanDuel? 155. It's a 33% boost. I'm adding JMO to this, and we'll keep building. I don't think it has to be SGP. It could be anything. So TD score prop, JMO 155. All right. I'm down for some plus action here and some alternates as well. Let's see. Who do I think? Chargers Steelers. I haven't looked at this in a while. Let's look at QJ here. We'll do our every week like clockwork Chargers. Look at all three of the receivers, and whoever has the best price for a touchdown is what we go with. Keenan, 195, 2 to 1. Okay, so 190 circa. We'll just use circa as our base. So 190 circa for Keenan. QJ or McConkey, where's Lad? Now we got to probably add freaking, what's his name? Gadsden to this mix. He's not priced at circa just yet. Lad, 175. So right now Keenan is the earliest. Would you take an alt line for the Lions to cover in a parlay? Yeah, absolutely. For fun, like absolutely. I would definitely. And we can go back and look at some of the best prices for the alternate lines here. I think lines are good to like 21.5, honestly. Like I do. If they lose outright or they don't even cover a spread and Washington comes back and, does it to me, what are you going to do? But I think you can alternate Detroit. Team total, Detroit. Spread, either of them, both of them. Absolutely. I really do feel confident in that for today. I think they put on a clinic. But last but not least, QJ. 195. So QJ is the best price via circa 210 at FanDuel with a boost. I'm adding QJ. I'm going with the QJ. And what was his first, out of curiosity? We had him first last week. He did not score, but he did not score the first, but he did score. Nothing for circa yet, so no good. But I'm adding QJ to this. So we have JML plus 155, QJ plus 1. Where is he? Worst price at FanDuel, plus 210. This is the 690, and we got another one for the boost. So go any direction there. Colts ball back. They punt. What happened here? Yep, quick punt. Very quick punt. 5-play punt. Bijan, 5 yards, incomplete. Punt. 5-play punt. We could get crazy and do some Miami. Let's see if we find any EV to FanDuel quickly here. Let's see. A little bit of lag. Sean Tucker and Deluge still there. Nico Collins over. The bookmaker and Penny. Yeah, a lot of 115s out there, though. That did just shoot up. That could actually be worth it there. I know Nico kills the Texans. I don't think CJ Stroud, like I said, to Davis Mills is a big drop-off. This price is probably a good one. I do want to quickly check this because depending on what line Circa and FanDuel have, I actually just might bet that really quickly. Quick change of pace there. Texans Jaguars. Player prop. Let's see, because if it's like 3 yards off and it's the best price, then that to me is like enough said. Nico Collins. So FanDuel is at 64.5, circa 64, and this 115 best price at MGM. So it's probably, I mean, the EV is there. The EV is there. Minus 150 at Penny, 129 at Bookmaker, and 2 yards off FanDuel, 1 yard off Circa. Give me Nico Collins. Give me Nico Collins. Give me that dog, Nico Collins. I love Nico Collins. This is square just from the thought that, I'm sure a lot of people are just looking at his history against the Jaguars and are just clicking this button, but that doesn't matter. The market is still telling us it's a good bet, so I'm interested, and I have to check a Nico first TD because they're giving him a 10-1 price, even though I think this game could be so low scoring, maybe not even have a touchdown. But no, books are pricing it properly. Receiving yards, OU, Nico Collins. 63.5, minus 115. That's worth a bet at MGM. That is worth a bet. That's worth it. Absolutely worth it. All right, let's go back to game lines and see if anything is popping up quick. Let's see. Alternate total here at Hard Rock for any Hard Rock bettors, plus 150. Panthers second half again. So we're seeing again these second halves. Alternate spread Miami. Another alternate. Philly for tomorrow. Alternate on Buffalo. No, thank you, man. We're on the Fins. Washington, no shot. Again, this Patriot stuff, I don't know what to do. The weather, there's the information there. Patchy rain nearby. Bro, I really appreciate you, Marcus. Thank you for watching, and shout out to PTO for being such a fantastic platform, honestly. So I really appreciate that comment, dog. If you're watching on YouTube, I will do the shameless. Hit that like button for the boy. I really would appreciate it. See some likes are in there, so it really does help a lot. And thank you, Marcus, for tuning into all the content. Have a lot more content coming out. This week have one full-length YouTube video coming out, a bunch of shorts as always, streams 4 days a week, though. I'm going to start streaming Friday. I've been inconsistent with my Friday streams, so you can blame me for that, but I do need to start streaming on Fridays. But Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, always stream. Gotta get that Friday in, though. All right, so again, so many second halves and third quarters and alternate spreads here. I probably want to do mix in how I do these calcs here, because I want to see the alts, because there is some value, some EV on an alt spread. I'm definitely interested, but I think I'm seeing too much. And all these numbers, I was like playing around with the settings, and I set it a Kelly bankroll to 10K, then I switched to flat betting, changed to every filter. I was not betting 10K a game. One day, hopefully, betting 10K a game. Falcons money line 125 at Caesars, but that's just moved so quickly. It looks like they just turned it back over. What the hell just happened there? Sure, you guys are watching and already seeing it, but I only got PTO going. But it looks like, they punted. So I'm guessing a big play. Must have been a big play. Let me guess, it went to Tyler Warren. I just lost a bet there. Or is it just JT cooking? So we have JT Cook, JT Cook, JT Cook, JT Cook, DJ Cook, JT -1. Then delayed game. That's a tough one. But looks like JT just started running rampant. 418, 8-1. Racking up those yards there. What's he at now? Oops. What's he at now? 25 for $127. What a dog. What a dog JT is. And my EV props that I post every week on PTO, those move really quickly, unfortunately. But I post a graphic in that YouTube video every single week. I had Cook under receptions, Warren under receptions, May over passing touchdowns, and Stafford, but Stafford over 2.5. Let's see what that's at now. We haven't looked at this game enough. Maybe we can, because this game has a high total. Didn't mean to click spread, but I am curious to spread what it's at now. 4.5 or 3.5. Where have you been going? Oh my God, what? Oh no, it went to 5.5. Okay. So even more Rams money, clearly. Interesting. Let's see. We know Puka's going to be shot. He's so good. Puka Nacua is so good, man. Tay can't do it, man. What is Kyron at this point? Yeah, Puka and Tay being over Kyron. I mean, it makes a ton of sense. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like shocked to see that realistically, but it is still funny to see with a RB1 getting completely hidden behind two receivers who are just dogs. And of course, you got Matty Stafford, who's passing TDs 2.5, man. When I saw it with EV, it was at 160. So it's not like massive EV, 150 at Circa, 155 for an MGM. But still pretty good for Matty Stafford throw Three of those bad boys. The market is anticipating that fully, understandably. One passing touchdown, not his 1960. I mean, don't get me wrong. Is Stafford throwing one in realistically, like over a 80 to 90% chance? Like, yeah. But I don't know about that. I mean, let's see. Like, what's Puka anytime again? Obviously shot. What's Tay anytime? This is minus 130. Even Tay is, which makes sense. He gets peppered in the end zone. And Puka, I mean, whoever this is, Lad. Brooks. Even though it's one intriguing, I know it's Puka and it's quote unquote scary to be fading a guy like Puka out plus 120 on an under for Puka Nacua. That's probably a good bet at circa, honestly. Colts took a field goal. So the Colts couldn't score before it gets stopped, and then now they elect to take the points. So I'm guessing they were further out. Yeah, they're sacked. Okay, Warren screwed me. That's 5 catches for Warren. So I lost a prop to start the day. Hit under 4.5. I mean, I got a great price. I closed at like minus 140, and I got that at even money. So a loser. I'm 0-3. I want to say fading Tyler Warren this year, and I'm not fading him just because I don't think he's good or anything like that. Like, these are just market DVIG plays, and Tyler Warren is saying, "Hey, go fuck yourself." He's not interested in anything I got going on there. But we got first touchdown here because I think this game, I think I like the Buccaneers because like I've seen like conflicting reports. I thought somebody say that like Todd Bowles against young quarterbacks when like it's like a good situation, but then shout out to Ti. Ti did a great put a great tweet out talking about how that's just not true. Young quarterbacks have actually performed really well as of late, very small sample against Todd Bowles. So I didn't like Tampa just because I thought of like Bowles. That really wasn't the case. I was just really curious to see the Patriots play like an actually good team, a team that is proven to, be a playoff team and play well versus the kind of dog shit the Patriots have been playing. Under 2 is interesting to me. I did not take Travion under. I saw the report that they do want to mix him and Kyle Williams in more. We lost on Travion last week, if you remember. I think we had under 11.5. He had 12 flat. I mean, if the EV is telling you that it's a good bet and you have a good DVIG, I'll check mine right now, as you'll see. I'd bet that and move on with my day. To be honest with you, I don't have any like conflicting thoughts, ball knowledge thoughts. EV's there for that. I bet that absolutely. I'll see if we see that here. So I'm wondering, 115, 3.7% at 365. So 118. So there's going to be some value at MGM as well. Has EV, so I would bet that. Though we unfortunately lost that last week. And the thing about Travion is, he is one fumble, one bad rep, one drop away from like really seeing the pine. But this Jordan Whittington, 8-1 popping up here at FanDuel, 8.2% EV to Novig and Penny, 525 Penny, 607 bookmaker. Is there news that just happened? I'm checking Underdog again because going deep down the board here, we know how bad the passing defense is for the Rams. I'm gonna go FTN quick. If this moves on me, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. But if it happens, it happens. But I am curious, like, why there's some love for Whittington. Because these odds are high. LA targets 11-7, nothing in the end zone because we know they just feed this man and just pepper him in the end zone because Davante Adams, why wouldn't you? 52% of the snaps. I mean, in these games, I guess Puka missed one of them because we're going only back to week 5. Just let's go to the whole season out of curiosity here. Full season, Whittington is WR3, 8-1 in this matchup. Yeah, I'm in. We still need to pull out the rest of that boost. We don't have to. We could put Whittington in it and go crazy with it because we have JMO. I'm taking them out right now. I'm just betting this Whittington. -5.5. So the odds have moved into the TD score props. Jordan Whittington, 8-1. I'm in. I just bet it. Jordan Whittington plus 800. Bang, bang, bang. Seeing EV. I know I like the DVIG from FanDuel, but still. Still, it's very off market. And I think we're going to get some CLV on that. And that's going to be the move. So Jordan Whittington. And in that slip we had, who do we have? I clicked it out. I forgot. No, we had Brees. Did we have Brees? No, we had Brees in a different slip. We had Brees, Dart, and Texans money line. I forgot who we had in this FanDuel boost. We had JMO, I know. The second leg, I don't remember. But honestly, because I have the Gibbs 2+ and the JMO 2+. Obviously, both of them are not going to hit if one of them even hits. Colts now, 115, getting the ball back. Some movement here on this Colts money line. Got the ball back, they're 9. So they're massive favorites. I don't know, though. I think Atlanta to get a stop, probably asking too much. 7 minutes to go, so a lot of things can happen. Colts also, fortunately, got 2 fumbles that they lost that they had but were recovered. I don't know if since I haven't been watching, I'm sure there's probably been more of that with them incapable of holding on to the football. First touchdown. I'm looking for the 2 quarterbacks are on this one. Curious what the 2 quarterbacks are. What's Dart? 12-1. Okay, so he's priced like he scores touchdowns, which he does score touchdowns, and we have him to score a touchdown. We got some EV there. And what is Caleb? 16-1, but pretty similar across the market. ESPN best price overall, but that's not going to do it for me. And the thing is with this Commanders game, I don't know who's going to rack up the yards, but I do think it's going to be a JMO Gibbs. But I am interested to, because you can't do a 2 touchdown parlay on MGM, I don't think. I think that's like not SGPable. No, it is. It is. But because we're trying to use the boost, of course. And JMO's only like 11-1 here when he was 2-1 at MGM, which we bought it. Colts PD? No way. No way, bro. Who was it? I mean, I'll check it in a second. But yeah, this being 11-1 and 2-1, I can in good conscience do that with the boost. With that being said, I can, even without a boost, if I'm getting better odds than MGM, could do that. But player to score 2 touchdowns, SGP. Jameson Williams. Wow. The Colts. JT House call? No. Bro, what a dog. A JT House call. Did he drop it 80? How many yards was it? Hit Ward for 8, and then JT 83 to the crib. Bro, what a dog, man. How many on the game, man? Did he have 200? 210. Bro, he's got 210. Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. Like, RBs don't matter. This and that. Rushing yards don't matter. Blah, 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 blah. Definitely truth to all these statements. But when you have a man like JT that could break an 88-yarder or an 83, whatever the hell it was, doesn't matter. Bro, how sick. And now the Colts are minus 700. Damn, that's awesome. That is so sick. I don't even know what else to say. I'm going to pull up MGM quickly because I do want to just see what the odds of a parlay would be. Not with this live. We're not betting this live. But with the JMO 2 touchdown, because I do want to build it on FanDuel too. But yeah, I do want to just see what we can get pricing wise, because we could potentially go for a banger here. I'm going to reread these rules on FanDuel because I thought it was SGP X only, aka it can't be just a parlay. It has to be a like an SGP X. But no, how this reward works. I mean, I'm just gonna add random legs and see what happens, and just see. That's the best way to see how this reward works. Oh my god, I have to close the app. So annoying that all my location doesn't work. Falcons money line, no thank you, man. I'm not betting that. Let's see. Okay, so the boost could be any parlay. Okay, it does not need to be SGP. Cool. But I still do want to play around with a 2 TDs, JMO, and something just because I want to get greedy. I have a 20-1, but I want more. I want more. Potentially. I think now is a good time to recap everything that I bet just because we have probably like 30 more minutes, but worth calling it out while we can. So everything I bet, this is all pre-stream, and I'll talk in-stream. Pre-stream, Detroit minus 7.5, Gibbs 2 touchdowns, Williams 2 touchdowns, Tez Johnson under 3.5 catches, Warren under 4.5, that's a loser. Drake May 2+ passing touchdowns, Houston money line, Juwan Jennings 5+ catches, Dart 2+ passing touchdowns. Those odds move. That's probably a loser. Pittman receiving yards, a loser, unfortunately. Woody 10+ rushing attempts. Tillman under 2.5 receptions. Addison under 3.5 receptions. Terrell Jennings on the Patriots touchdown. Bryce Young 2+ passing touchdowns. Then on stream we took Fins +9.5. Sampson anytime touchdown. Mac Hollins anytime touchdown. Greg DeLuch first touchdown. Parker Washington under 4.5 receptions. Sean Tucker anytime touchdown. James Cook under 17.5 rush attempts. Took a parlay, all touchdowns. Warren, Cook, Gibbs, Judkins. Breece Hall first touchdown. DK boost of Breece Hall, Houston Texans money line. Dart touchdown. Also Dart touchdown +215. DeLuch anytime. Marv first touchdown. Nico over receiving yards. And Jordan Whittington anytime touchdown. So we have definitely sprayed the board as we should be with the EV betting. So there's the recap there, and we still want to get this FanDuel boost going as well as get some EV with this MGM because I want to capitalize on this Jameson Williams 2+ TDs. I think if there's any day for JMO, it's today. I'm tanking in fantasy, honestly. I should probably switch him out. I'm in a dynasty league, tanking. Like honestly, I'm gonna see just what this pricing is. We're seeing EV. I know they're long shots. Like JMO is EV with the 2+ touchdowns, but what if we add DeLuch and Mac Hollins that are both still showing EV to this? Like I'm curious how high we're getting here. I mean Sean Tucker, excuse me, and DeLuch. 0 shot in hell this hits, but I am curious. The greedy side of me is curious. We bet Sean Tucker. I thought we did. Oh, we did. Yeah, +450. And right now it's still 450. So it's still hanging on there. Players, anytime TD. I'm just so curious what this is. You could add Jennings at 290, but we're going for the craziness. This is Hollins. The EV left. It went from a different place there with this +1145. And if we add DeLuch, we could get crazy. This could be the craziest touchdown parlay of all time. And it has a 0 chance of hitting, but this is more so again for just to see the pricing, just to see what we're dealing with here. MGM takes so freaking long to load. It's so annoying. Even on my computer that isn't streaming, it still takes forever. Come on, hurry the frick up. Hurry the frick up. Players, anytime TD score. What are we getting here? This is going to be ridiculously priced and such a donation. $1 to win 924. Who says no? I'm betting it on my other computer. Why? I can't tell you. I don't know why. This is a situation now that I've seen what the payout is. I just have to. I'd be mad if it hit and I didn't bet it versus losing $5 that I'll get down on this. Yeah, 5 to win $4,600. I spent $5 in worse ways before. JMO, Deluge, Sean Tucker, anytime. I had to. Dumbest leader for worst bet that you could possibly ever take. But seeing both again, these two have EV as well as the GMO has EV to the rest of the market. I'm pretending I never bet that. You guys didn't see that. Unless it hits, then you guys definitely saw that. But Aaron Jones under 40.5. This is interesting, honestly. This is good. This is good. This is very good. I'm betting that. I do think Aaron Jones is going to get more of a running game going a bit. I mean, we can quickly look at his numbers, though I don't want it to move. So I'm going to quickly get it in my slip ready to rock while we look at FTN. But I actually like that just from like a thought perspective. Aaron Jones under 40.5. Let's quickly research this and confirm from a like script perspective because I'm curious what it's been since he's been back. Not an efficient runner really at this point. I'm still monitoring the slip, don't get me wrong. But I want to see. So we have under 40.5. Last 2 games. We'll even go 3 games, though. They were on a bye week 7. No, they were not. Okay, Aaron Jones has played 2 of these games. That's receiving. We want rushing. Take week 7 out of it. So just with Aaron Jones back. Leading in attempts, split with Mason, 6.6 a carry. Okay, so it's not as intriguing as it seems. 46% of the snaps. So still basically a timeshare, 50-50 with Mason. 35% attempts. Opportunities we don't care much about because we don't care about the pass game. 50 snaps. Let's quickly do an RBs. What's the Ravens' run defense been since they've gotten healthy? What's it been looking like? If you missed this, I'm not going to be too mad. Probably should just bet it because of the pricing, but I am curious to dive in a bit. Let's do week 6. I feel like that's when Baltimore started getting healthy. Lagging. Tabs open, clearly. All right, we're back. Let's go to week 6 here. See what Baltimore's ground defense has been doing. Rush EPA. Where's the Raven? Oh, 3rd. Success rate, 14th. So the defense has picked it up. Now getting healthy. I'm in on this Aaron Jones. Another one. A lot of unders today, boys. A lot of unders. We have our touchdowns for fun. We have our unders for EV. So love that. Let's check in on the Colts game. I'm sure you guys are watching, but I am curious. Are the Falcons driving? Oh, they are. Holy shit. they absolutely are. We should have got it on the Falcons. We could have had an easy arb. Colts Falcons. Just at the end of the game, you could have had an easy arb. Rushing yards. Rushing yards over under Aaron Jones. Okay. Colts call timeout. 2-minute warning, it seems. How did they get here? We have a Penix to London 15, Bijan for 8, Bijan for 2, Algier for 7, Pitts for 13, Algier for 10. Okay, boys, strap in. We have a crazy ending coming up on us now. The Colts, who were absolutely massive Massive live favorites after that JT run. Going the other way entirely. Damn. 2nd and 1 on the Colts 1. Algier to end 1 for 8 yards. So the Colts, how many timeouts do they have? Check ESPN quickly. How many timeouts do the Colts have? They have 2. Obviously, the 2-minute warning is happening as we speak. So 2 timeouts for. Oh, that was a timeout after the 2-minute warning. Not that it's a massive deal. Either way, they have 2 timeouts. I guess they let them score. No, I mean, they don't need 3, so they have to score touchdowns. So maybe you don't let them score. They score, they go for 2, then they're up 3. They just split up 7. They're up 2, meaning the Colts can get a field goal. Colts timeout, 1:44 to go. So they get a stop. Play in progress. I mean, PTO is faster than ESPN, so I don't know why I would look at ESPN here. Last minute chills. Let's see the box score. Oh, Falcons scored 23. Falcons just scored. Let me guess. Bijan, Algier, whomever. Penix dive over the pile, anything. But the Falcons have scored, so it's going to be a Colts comeback drive here, unless there is a penalty. Algier left tackle, 1 yard. Tutty, 10 for 59 for Algier. Did I start him in Dynasty? That's the golden question. I'm trying to lose, boys. I'm tanking, so hopefully I didn't. But based on my score, oh no, I didn't. I did not. He's on my bench. Okay, cool. 18 points on my bench in a tank situation. We love that. Though Jesse Bates has me 15 freaking points. Play with IDP. He's a dog. And I have London who put up 20. My team should not be in a tanking position at this point in the season. But we are, unfortunately. But it's all right. If I can go successfully to get my Jeremiah Love, then I have some running backs to work with there. But we have a crazy finish winding down. First touchdowns we bet were Marv, Beluch, and Brees. So we could definitely find another first tutty. So 3-point game. Colts could tie it. We might be seeing overtime in Germany. That could always be fun. Penix to London on a 2-point conversion. London is an animal. Saints Panthers. We know what like Daddle is, but we can probably I saw some Olave EV like through a lot of the day today, and I'm honestly like not betting any Olave because I still think Shook is absolutely dog water, and I don't want to rely on him to do anything positive for me. But I could see a first like this Bryce. Is Taysom even playing these days? Pretty crazy odds. FanDuel being the 19-1 on Taysom. That could be the only way they score. I'm going to quickly see what Taysom's been doing lately with Shook and how they're capitalizing. I know Taysom Hill is running in quicksand at this point in his career. Is still a dog, though. Still like an all-team dog. 6 carries. Okay, so he is still in that mix. Anything on the goal line, though? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Give me this. Give me this, man. Give me Taysom Hill. We're back, baby. What year is this? Give me Taysom Hill first. 20-1 here at ESPN. 19-1 at FanDuel. I wish FanDuel was lower for devigging, but give me Taysom, man. Give me Taysom Hill. And we will use this boost on FanDuel. It's been avoiding us. It's not our fault, boys. We're trying to find only good bets to use it on. And I'm not using it on a first touchdown parlay. We already took our donation of the day with that Sean Tucker, Craig DeLuch, and JMO 2+. So that's our donation of the day. These first touchdowns obviously are long shots to hit and are unlikely to hit. But with that being said, they are still good value to market. So they are good bets. But that donation we took, that probably should have went to St. Jude's or something. But Taysom Hill first touchdown. I'm in. What's going on here now? Colts football already on the Atlanta 48. Oh God. Oh God. Timeout. Okay, let's check the play-by-play here. I'm sure you guys are watching live, but we had a kick and a big return from Amir Abdallah, and then an incompletion to Tyler Warren, who I just got to stop betting he's under. I don't care what the prices are. Price was everything, so obviously I do care about the prices, but he's just been telling me to screw myself big time. And special teams coming. Repick, fellas. Mayfield 2+ pass TDs. I love it, bro. We could check the market in case you want to look at it, but I totally have no qualms with that, bro. Wolf Cotto, I love it. Let's see what the prices are. Just make sure you get the best price. This is like, I feel like a dad, like, always having to harp in the pricing here. Baker 2 passing touchdowns. Gonna pay a lot of chalk here, but if you have a Novig 158, lock it in. Lock it in for the boys. I'm so curious how this game's gonna transpire, but let's see. First touchdown here. I could see it's going anyway, but we haven't really checked this one. Diggs is 10-1, understandable. Hunter Henry 10-1, understandable. Terrell Jennings, we have anytime. 19-1 at FanDuel. If he scores the first, I'll be pissed, honestly, but I'm not betting it. We already have him. Drake May, 22-1 DraftKings, interesting for first tutty. That could honestly intrigue me. Not that we need another one. We have our 4 first tutties, and we do have some really nice plus odds on most of them. Fell that Deluge one being 50-1. I'm not sitting here thinking that's going to hit. Egbuka, yeah, priced like he should be. Oh my God, what's happening here? 3rd and 24. Fumble or penalty? Incomplete pass to Tyler Warren. The replay official reviewed the pass ruling. The play was upheld. The ruling on the field stands. And then I'm assuming another challenge, or this is the preceding challenge, and the Colts are calling timeout because they didn't get it. Daniel Jones sacked minus 11 yards, man. That's the Daniel Jones that Giants fans came to expect, and that Colts fans, fortunately, have not had to really experience much of until last week. An 11-yard sack, but I'm so curious how the Falcons are going to blow this, because the Falcons are a F it up team regardless of what happens. Atlanta, not the team you expect to do things positively. And all right, let's bet on it. Roughing the passer or PI? Probably the latter. Let's see, play in progress. $1:30 left. 4th and 2, actually. So I'm getting confused because the play is a bit slower than this. So it's probably the play probably happened and now it's 4th and 2. Though I could be so wrong because I lost 11 yards on a sack. So of course it's probably not 4th and 2. I have no action on how this game ends up transpiring. Somehow throws a 60-yard touchdown to Josh Downs or to Michael Pittman, I would not be complaining. But wishful thinking can happen here. But what the hell is going on, man? I'm checking reels just because it's faster. Daniel Jones, a 19-yard rip on 4th and 2. Warren, another catch. Yep, there we go. This is populating in here. The Colts seem to be in field goal position, but we know the Colts have missed an extra point as well as a field goal. So I would not be feeling pretty safe whatsoever. I kind of want to bet that Drake May first. I'm going to go quickly check FTN here. Are they in spiking mode? No, they're not. They need to get a couple more yards here. Where are they? Falcons 30, the way they've been kicking all game. That is not understandable. DJ incomplete. Who are you targeting? May, 15 attempts to Travion's 24 in the last 2 weeks. So 15 attempts, still a lot of freaking attempts. Don't get me wrong. Red zone rushing, 6 to Ramondre, but he's gone now. 5 to Travion. 4. Then we have this Terrell Jennings. But for a first touchdown, we're fading the Travion stuff. Definitely not fading May passing. We know they have no booty today. Again, as funny as that always is to say out loud. And then another sack coming in. Ronnie Harrison. Oh, no, they're calling it a rush now. Short rush. I mean, this is still a deep kick for a guy who's missed 2. One being an XP. Daniel Jones, we have the incomplete. Negative 6-yard rush. Well, nonsense is happening here. We got to call timeout. Oh, Colts are out of timeouts. Pittman, 2 catches, 9 yards, unless he breaks this 5-yard catch to get out of bounds. That's the key question, because now it's 4th down. 15-yard catch. Oh, shit. So are we going to overtime? It's 4th and 1. 21 yards. They have no timeouts. 10-yard catch, 11-yard catch. I'm getting all these mixed information. Seeing 11-yard catch. What a crazy way to sweat a game. I love sweating a game without actually seeing what's going on. It's like the most annoying but like fun thing ever. But timeout Atlanta. Oh shit. Oh shit. All right. I think I'm gonna bet the Drake May. See if it moved. First touchdown. We saw some good pricing. Circa 20-1, 22-1 here at DK. I'm betting that. That'll be the last first touchdown bet of the day. We have more than we normally bet always. We normally bet 3, but one of them is like pretty big donation, being the Luch. But if he scores the first, we're going crazy. But I will bet the May. 22-1, first TD score. Drake May. So we'll literally only need one first touchdown. Even if Brees, our lowest odds first touchdown scores, then the rest of them are washes. Obviously, we want to profit on this and everything, but again, we are betting the first for fun. We have like 10 straight bets. Like 10 is an understatement. We have like 15, 20, which is what you want when you're EV betting. So we're doing everything by the book. We're doing it right. We're chilling. So no complaints from me. Let's go back to this and see how this ends. They kicked the field goal. Colts have kicked the field goal. There it goes. Indianapolis Colts probably going to OT in Germany. Let's see if we can find any ARBs quick, and then we'll call it. I'm not going to sit through all of OT. Realistically, I actually want to watch OT. So do some ARBs, one more EV run through, and then we will call it a day. So let's see if let's make some free money quickly. I'll try to find some widely available books for you guys. Nothing live. So hopefully it's still there. Detroit team total second half. I want to see something that probably has good liquidity. And again, at available books, team touchdowns. Like these markets are probably not that liquid. First quarter points. Doesn't have to be football, of course. I don't care what sport we're getting free money in. But the biggest EV percentage is on where to go. Team TD. Let's press play and then reset. Not going to do a live ARB. We're just going to do a pre-game ARB. We'll go as live tennis. That's how great PTO is. Am I crazy for thinking JSN under yards? Look at his last four. Bro, like Wolfcotto. I faded JSN against the Texans when I thought it was a prime, like regression to the mean, fade him against a good team. And he told me to screw myself based on these 4 games. I'm curious what his number is. I'll check it after out of curiosity. You could let me know in chat. But that's a guy where, and this is going to be a square comment, but I don't care. Like there are certain players where like JT is a good example. Like I'd rather not win a bet than lose and fade and get smoked. We'll do the 365. That's interesting. That should not be the odds though. So that seems off there. Buffalo team points minus 263.30, 4.7. A sack prop at 2 books that limit or aren't really widely available. Again, if you guys have these books and you see these ARBs, please feel free and snag them. For the boys here, a first quarter, if you do $100, again, I don't know if 365 will take 126 on this, but there's a free 977 if you have, $226.23 laying around. So, feel free to snag that. Grounding. All right, so we're going to overtime. We're going to overtime in Germany. All right, so yeah, feel free to take any of these ARBs and any and all ARBs if you have the bankroll and just want to take some free cash, as you should at this point. Please do. I want to look at that JSM prop because it's crazy high, and it's probably too high. It's going to be a point where it's too high. Is he in the hundreds? I doubt he would be. I think he would. Let me guess. I haven't looked at this a single time. Based on what he's been, I'm going to say it's 99.5. That's my guess. That is my guess. 99.5 is my guess. Right on point. 98.5, 97.5, some 99.5s. Really, mostly probably 98.5. That's I'm up by a yard, but great guess. And there's the confirmation. We're going to OT, boys. One more look for the EV screen, and we'll call it. We've bet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15, 16, 17, 18. $35 bets today. So we're doing exactly what we should do when we're EV to see if we get through it. We actually haven't bet that FanDuel boost yet, so I'm going to bet that FanDuel boost before we hop off. But we have 30 plus bets today. We are locked and freaking loaded. Whittington is up at 800 now. But again, we bet this. I don't care. I'm in on Whittington. Anything straight. Isaiah Davis under receptions. I actually like this 115. This is definitely worth betting as well. Isaiah Davis under 1.5 receptions. We got a fancy question coming in. Who for my wide receiver 2, 3, and flex? I'm out on Jay Addison. I'm out on Debo. I'm out on Tez. I would play Quentin Johnston. I faded Parker Washington. I faded Travion technically. So I would go with Quentin Johnston. And I hate Jacoby now against the Texans. Running back for the flex. So I definitely lock in Johnston. I would honestly lock in Pop Douglas for the upside. I think the Patriots can have some good success throwing the football. So Johnston, Pop, and probably Charbonnet. That would be my 3 guesses, honestly, for that as well. But this Isaiah Davis, 5.3% EV. This is worth it as well. Though I do expect some underneath stuff, but that Jones hasn't moved, which is fine. But I'll definitely take this. Isaiah Davis, we're seeing some good EV. And let's bet that FanDuel boost and let's call it a day. Let's bet that and call it a day. Where is my other computer? And then FanDuel boost. I'm going to honestly harp in on a Detroit SGP or some 2 legs from Detroit. Let's see. Why are we lagging here? Let's go traditional odd screen, and we'll find 3 legs for that boost. Jets, Browns, and we'll check in overtime. See who's football. Who's football? Hasn't happened yet. Okay. Taking their sweet time in Germany, huh? Taking their sweet, sweet time. Let's bet this FanDuel boost. All right. Dolphins finally having EV at 360. Let's build something out here. And we have a 30% boost. So we have Texans money line, a couple of things. Let's see. Receiving props. What is Amon-Ra? 75.5. Jameson 46.5. I mean, what's this 50 plus? It is only 102, so not great. Not great. Let's see. Buccaneers, Patriots, we have a lot of action. Miami, Buffalo, we have a lot of action. Almont St. Brown over nice 79.5. Yeah, no, I think that's honestly probably the best way to go about it. Because I'm thinking about even going as crazy. I wouldn't call it crazy necessarily, but I think what I would do for this parlay boost is I'm going to go with actually Amon-Ra most receiving yards in the game, assuming it hasn't moved since we last checked it. 120. I'm going to check DraftKings quickly as well just to see what it is comparatively. But nah, I would bet that Amon-Ra 79.5. This is a tailor-made Amon-Ra matchup, tailor-made Gibbs matchup, tailor-made JMO matchup, which makes it annoying because all three dogs for the Bears have a great. I mean, the Bears for the Lions have a great matchup. Most receiving yards, Big G's JMO, not worth it. Receiving props on DK, what are they pricing him at? Even money, okay, 120 for Amon-Ra. We're going to use the boost here, so I'm adding it on my phone as well. Receiving props, most receiving yards. Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Other games where we could do that. Jets, Browns. What about a Breece Hall, most receiving yards? Do they even have that market up? They don't have that market up for this game. They're scared, man. Okay, let's see if DK does. FanDuel, nothing, because I think a sneaky could be a Breece Hall with that yak ability, and I do anticipate him getting the ball in his hands, but we're not seeing it, are we? We are 22-1. Okay, let's do a quick scan here because I am so interested. I know GW is back, but this underneath stuff and can take one to the crib. Like, I know it hasn't been that great. Don't get me wrong. He's not really getting crazy targets. Only 6 targets. They are giving it to Isaiah Davidson. The target's only 28 yards. This is only the end of the season. Let's just go full season of curiosity. We know Braylon Allen's out. Breece Hall, 30 total targets. Isaiah Davis has come on more, as we know, with the injury, but this is like so worth it. Honestly, I'm betting this. This is like, again, donation of sorts, but like who realistically is going to be dominating this game from a receiving standpoint? Give me the running back who has big play potential. Honestly, we have a lot of Breece, and I don't hate it at all. Receiving props. Why is it not showing on my phone here? Receiving props. Is it not available? Because I'm staring at it here. Right, we're all looking at this, but on my phone, I'm not seeing most receiving yards. Oh, no, best. DraftKings Hodges on the phone. Game leaders. Okay. There we go. Breece Hall, most receiving yards. In. All right, so the FanDuel boost, honestly, I'll leave that to you boys. I'm forcing at this point. That would just be not worth it. If I do something, I'll tweet it out. But I'm holding that off for now, boys. So that'll wrap it up. We have 30 plus bets in. We have a lot of EV. If you guys like the stream, please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button also on YouTube. It would be greatly appreciated. We're 3 away from 450. So, 250. That'd be awesome. Watch on X, hit that subscribe like button. Hit that retweet button for the stream also. Hit that follow button. And if you're watching on X, go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Good luck today, boys. I'll be on stream tomorrow. We'll recap everything. We have so much action. Amazing stuff going on today. So let's have a positive one. I appreciate you all. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great Sunday, boys.